Yeah, it's Boss Cowboy Sports bringing you another Measure Koolaid report, and obviously we gonna be talking about Kavontae Turpin, and so he's the newly signed USFL receiver, who's formerly coming from TCU. So obviously, when we try to go through the Measure Koolaid report, we gonna try to give you as much facts as possible because Turbin is interesting to say the least. But let's be careful because a lot of times we got to remember this is training camp. This is also clickbait season because it's a competition amongst journalists to try to get obviously the most clicks, views, and all that kind of stuff on the articles they write. So don't forget, a little while ago, Switzer was they was describing him sounding something similar to Jerry Rice in the second coming of Moss, and that was, obviously he didn't turn out that way. So, but there are some good things. The fact that he was an MVP at USFL, that's always going to be interesting to look at somebody that was considered the best player in the league. So, he's interesting. So, taking a look at him, obviously the Dallas Cowboys signed him. First thing, obviously, we're going to look at is his production. So, with his production, he only had 44 receptions and 540 yards. So he's definitely not popping off the screen in terms of his stats. Like, we not sitting here like, oh my God, I got to write home about this guy. Oh, he's just phenomenal. So when you're an MVP with stats, that's kind of pedestrian. What that's really saying is he made some highlight plays that stood out. So one thing to kind of look out for as we kind of dealing with Kavontae is the height, right? And we go look at a little bit of kind of maybe what happened with him because he has monster speed, 4.3 speed, likely some game speed. He said the Cowboys, this is on the Cowboys site. It said the Cowboys are adding a potential help at return game by signing wide receiver Kavontae Turpin. To make room for Turpin on the 90-man roster, the Cowboys waived fullback Nick Ralston. Turpin was named USFL MVP for the New Jersey Generals in June after leading the league in receiving and also posting a punt return touchdown. The former TCU star went undrafted in 2019, likely due in part to reported off-the-field issues. So I looked into his off-the-field issue, and he pled guilty to domestic violence or something of that sort. And obviously that's going to concern a lot of fans. At the same time, that's also an answer to why sometimes people can have talent and still go undrafted because of character flags. So that's good to know as well as bad to know. So with him already basically being in camp, I can tell you right now, it's already a lot of hype. And when I say a lot of hype, it's a lot of hype. So John Machota here is showing, obviously a picture. That's a good number to give him. Number 2 is showing some faith in his skill set. So somebody got to be high on him. So another thing is you can look at Kyle Yeoman, and he had 2 videos about him basically saying, look at the acceleration from Kavontae Turpin. And I don't actually see perfect acceleration coming out his break. Like I'm not trying to go against Kyle. I just don't see it because when he speeds up right there, he didn't explode out that break to me. Not to me. My eyes is not seeing the explosion out that break. Because when you plant that foot, I want to see you like exploding back to the ball. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a slight deceleration before you see the acceleration. So, and I'm just being honest on what I see. But that's just a one drill. That doesn't say everything about him. So let me go to another one where you can see Kyle Yeoman, who posted about, say, wide receivers working on in routes. Notice the burst. So let me look and see if I see burst. And so I'm looking at all the receivers. This is a good one because you can compare him to everybody. So I'm looking, okay. So that's Tolbert with and I mean, they gave him 3. God, they gotta have faith in him. 3? I mean, 2? They like him. They gave him number 2. So, okay, but I'm looking at all these receivers coming at their breaks. He the last one in the drill, so let me see. That's pretty solid. But it wasn't to me, and this is just my eyes. I'm gonna watch it again. I didn't see this just massive explosion of everybody else. Let me see. So I'm gonna look at it again. Okay. Yeah, that was actually pretty good by number 3. Huh. I think that's my boy Dennis Houston. Okay, now I'm just keeping it real, just looking at these explosions. Right now, the person that had the better burst coming off the ball, just to me, to my eyes, was Dennis Houston. So this is the bottom line. Why are the Dallas Cowboys adding receivers right now? It's almost to me similar to what they did with Malik Hooker last year. They took a brief look, and after the first day of practice, they signed the guy. That's, to me, that's an indication that that group was looking kind of. So, and I talked to West Coast, who was out there as well, and he also confirmed that the receiver group was looking. So, obviously, they leaning on Will McClay again to try to bring in some guys with some electricity, and they, shopping at the dollar store and they shopping at Marshall's. That don't mean this guy bad though. I ain't no. Don't misunderstand me. I'm definitely not saying that, because I trust Will McClay, man. I trust that he looks under every rock to find talent. But I want to give you the measure Kool-Aid on the potential. All right. And obviously with they acclimating him to camp, it's gonna take him a little while to get going. But it's a lot of eyes on him. They gave him a premier number with number 2. That's saying a lot, man. Listen, I mean, those of us who play ball know numbers mean a lot to players. When they giving you number 2, bro, that's saying a lot, bro. You didn't even have to earn that number 2. Look how Anthony Brown had to play to finally get his number. That's a premier number 3. You know what I mean? And they showing with Joseph's a premier fate by giving him number 1, but both of those guys had to play a little bit before they got premier numbers. Even Jalen, when they gave him number 9 last year, they didn't give it to him. He had to rock that 5'4" for a little while, the pseudo number 9. So that is truly an indication of what they are thinking about him. So we gonna be keeping eyes and seeing what's going on. But I want to give y'all that measure Kool-Aid with Boss Cowboy Sports about him. And y'all make sure with every one of these videos, man, that y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's how you help us grow. But we gonna continue to give this content as we keep an eyes on training camp. And trust me, we got a lot of videos coming, as well as lives. We likely go do another final word today, and we're gonna likely do a late night with West Coast. So it's gonna be a full day again. So y'all just stay up, man. It's Boss Cowboy Sports. Peace.